Hey, what's going on? E. Jones, bottom to the top hoops.
It's your boy, Black Elvis. We in the building.
Yo, L, man, as always, want to shout out the good people at T-Mobile. Make sure you check out the podcast on Spotify, Apple TV, and YouTube. Guys, subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 10,000 followers. We appreciate all you guys. Who you shouting out, L?
I definitely want to shout out God. You know how I do. I definitely want to shout out Dom. Shout out to Dom for the cure. We've been shooting all week. Good look, new project coming. We've been working so much, it's been crazy. Forgot about Bob. We got another project, Bob. That's coming out this week too. Want to give a shout out to my nephew with his podcast. He's doing his thing. You got to know that TV. He's a big supporter of everything we do.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to tell people just to continue to check out the website. You know what I mean? That's our platform. We don't own YouTube, even though we love YouTube and the community and the support. We want you guys to log on to our website because then we can literally be in contact directly with you with no middleman.
There you go, bcomtv.com. So, L, we talking about New York City basketball. We're talking about the current state of it, and we're talking about safety. In recent time, going back to last fall or winter, you have the safety becoming an issue. Even going back when you told me a young man's mother got into an altercation with students. Fast forward, an event, somebody brings a firearm into an event. And most recently, a park in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of Black Lives Matter, in the middle of us just trying to restore some type of activity to these parks, getting one-day permits and two-week permits. Somebody shoots up a park, an innocent girl gets shot. You know, I hope she's okay. And now we just don't have any, there's no rules. It's like the Wild Wild West, man. What's your take on it, bro?
Well, it all goes back to like what I used to always say, we have no leaders, you know, and, you know, with no leaders come no accountability. So now you have these kids, you know, and let me tell you something. I know a lot of kids, man, I'm around these kids, you know, I can't throw the kids under the bus when they have nothing to do. Like you're looking at kids from the ages of 21, because they're out of high school now, they're not in college, 21 to about 26, 27, that literally is just chilling. So what are they doing? What direction? Like who's giving them direction? Like I'll constantly say, the tube, the rappers. Well, because it can't be the athletes. They're not inspiring athletes. So is it the rappers? So now you got kids coming to these tournaments, you know, really just looking for shine. They're not looking for a scholarship. They're not, unless your nephew, your brother, your cousin is playing. Why are you coming there bringing that energy? I just don't get it. And even if a family member is playing, you're supposed to be downplaying that because of the environment we're in. We're not in the street. We're in a basketball tournament. And I just really don't get why our youth feel that it's nothing wrong with that. Like, I mean, dog, there's a time and place for everything.
I was just going to allude to that, man. And, you know, we've been around it, you know, you coming up in the View and also WAG, me coming up on Washington Avenue. We know what it is, right? People get into stuff, people have disagreements, and guys settle that on their own terms and away from.
Remember, it was old folks and children.
Okay. So to that point, it was almost understood. It was a behavior that everybody, and a code that everybody kind of lived by, right? Like let's not bring harm or that energy to people who don't deserve that, right? And that's everything from the language you use. Like somebody drops an F-bomb or whatever and they see a lady, oh, I'm sorry, miss, like that was a natural thing. And you could be the most gangsterous dude, but that was your respect level that you have, that you knew, like I'm around an elder, I'm around a woman, like, you know, I see kids in the park with their shirt off. I see them using crazy language. They're obviously toting firearms to a game when you're so that
a youth game, a youth game.
It tells me, number one, that you don't feel safe because the type of life you're living. Number two, it tells me that you're looking for some type of trouble, or that's what you bring with you. So if you know you bring that with you and you going to see your cousin, maybe you just don't go see your cousin because you want him to get his opportunity or her opportunity. So I'm going to say this, Al. I know it was a big influence from my moms, my grandmoms, my pops, and all of the people in the community and the responsible adults to make sure that I had a good foundation. And even the kids that was, on the fence, my pops or moms didn't care whether you was trying to get money in the street or whatever. They still was going to pull your coat. Yo, listen, I'm watching you, man. You better get it together, right? And they be like, I got you, Coach Jones, man, I got you. They might just be blowing smoke, but that message sometimes, I still will walk with my pops to this day, and I hear people say, yo, Coach, man, you saved my life. Because they could have went the other way, and my pops didn't give up, and he didn't just leave it with, man, he's a street kid. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna be nothing anyway. I'm gonna give it a shot, and that kid might have went left and had a wake-up call, maybe did a stretch or something, and then say, you know what, man, all of them lessons, man, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna do something different.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to your pops too, man. Big supporter.
Man. Yeah, always supporting the show. Big shout out. I love you, Dad. But just to that point, man, I think a lot is missing in the homes, man. There's younger parents,
The grandmothers is at salsa every Thursday. It's over.
Grandmothers is 52.
Like what happened to, okay, I had a child, now I have to sacrifice to get my child to a certain level because the key to life is I want my generation to do better than my generation. What happened to that? With that comes sacrifice. Everybody now is saying, oh, I'm turned up, I'm living my best life. But what about your child? What about your grandchild? Like, these kids are suffering. These kids need someone to constantly be giving them direction. Can't expect a kid to figure out direction. As a parent, as a grandparent, as a mentor, you gotta constantly be on your children. So what are you doing? What's up with you? You're 22 years old, you're not working, you're waking up every day, you sleep all day. What are you doing? If nobody's G-checking the children feel that they the G's.
Now, this ball right here, it has saved lives.
Absolutely. And
this is our game, and we got to find out a way to protect it. And the one thing I've always held, L, is, we're doing you feel the frustration. The viewer feels the frustration because, it's really tough to see innocent people, especially children, be harmed when they didn't have any part in whatever the fracas was. So that's what the viewers are hearing right now, but we would be remiss, Al, if we didn't offer some solutions to these problems and challenges that we have. So, Al, let's challenge ourselves, man, and let's offer some things that we think could turn us back in the right direction as far as helping the platform become safe again. And then we can worry about how do we get our city game back and how do we develop the kids? Because we can't even develop and we can't even have a tournament because we can't afford the security that it takes to run the tournament. And we got to do bag checks and we got to do wands and all of that. You can't do that. I mean, do you have the resources to do that at 10U?
Yeah, but see, my thing is, Ian, I grew up in the street. I grew up around street people. My thing is, when I go to Dykeman and it's an unlimited tournament, I'm not expecting to get the same environment I'm gonna get at a 16 and under tournament.
But here's the thing, El. As somebody who runs youth tournaments, as you well know, right? And I'm talking 14U, 13U, 12U. I am now hesitant to put a tournament out there if I don't have the resources to be able to do bag checks, have security there, and warm people down at a 10U tournament.
That's crazy.
That's my I would like to know what other tournament organizers think and feel, because I cannot have the safety of the kids at jeopardy for the sake of a basketball game. I can't wear it on my conscience. I will live with that memory for the rest of my life.
You know, just for the record, for the people, so they know, someone DM'd E and let him know this was a topic we needed to speak about because it's really getting out of control now. So for anyone, when you see things, or you know, you just have something you feel we should talk about on our platform, don't hesitate to hit E in the DM or hit me up in the DM, because that's why we created this platform. For when people see something, they can reach out to us and we can talk about it.
And we have fun on the show a lot. We talk about topics, we go back and forth, and it's basketball and it's fun. But I think when you have a voice, you also have a responsibility. And with that responsibility, you know, you got to speak to what's happening in our culture and what's trending now. And right now, what's trending is there's a little girl who got shot. And I know that the intentions of most of the people who do these events are pure intentions. And
let's be clear, E. Most events are not going on right now. So
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, most events are not going on. So therefore, if you see tournaments operating now, they went above and beyond to get a permit. They went above and beyond to get the park, because right now is not a safe climate for the city to just give out permits. So you have to understand, when you literally see this situation and we know what it is and we're looking at it, it's like you have to feel sorry for the people who's planting these seeds, who's trying to give these kids something to do. That's what it's all about. Because if you're doing a tournament now, you're not making no money. So it's really for the kids.
And it's just blatant disrespect, to be honest with you, Al. Because you don't care, and you just deciding that this is what you want to do, and this is your energy, and you're not using any thought, intelligence, or any restraint, and you like, yo, I'm gonna get it popping now. So in terms of solutions, let's work on creating programs. You know, I don't know if it's night centers for kids to kind of play where, you know, the older dudes used to be able to hoop a little bit. You know, basketball brings about camaraderie. Let's bring the night centers back, right? And in the night centers, maybe, you know, you do have the security checks. And maybe we keep a couple of more kids off the street, right? And in a safe space.
Yo, E, let me ask you this. I want you to finish it for me, because I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want an intelligent answer from you.
Yeah.
You know, where we are today with Black Lives Matter and police brutality, you know, I'm almost devastated that I'm sitting here talking that we're putting pressure on the police department to downgrade their money, to defund them, but we're running around shooting up our own parks and killing each other. Like, how are we expecting them? You said that in a podcast we've done. How we expect them to respect our lives if we don't respect our own lives? Right now, it's crazy because they literally about to defund the police. It's looking that way. And people are still going out there doing this at this time. Hold on, this is the crazy thing. Underlying word. Pandemic. I can't believe it. Us as a people, we need to really get our stuff together. We need to have some pride, and we really need to find God, because God is in every one of us, and we're running around here like animals. That's what we're doing. We're running around like animals.
Hell, I don't know if I can say anything after that, because you've underscored that point, and you're right. If you want Black lives to matter, Black lives need to matter to Black people and brown people and all of the people who are underserved and the voices we're fighting for. I mean, it's a core issue, and I know it runs deep, and I know that, you know, they put things in place, but at some point, you know, we've always been faced with challenges as people, and our ancestors didn't make excuses. So it's time for us to stop making the excuses and get to action and take our communities back. And we got to get on the front line, man, starting with us. And I'm gonna do a better job. And you know, when I have a certain level of trepidation, I have to walk with faith and understand that my calling, our calling, is to save these kids. And you have to have a fearlessness about you when doing that. So I'm up for the task, man. Yo, let's do better, man. Let's keep this conversation going. If there's anything y'all want to reach out to us about that we can do, feel free to do so, man. Thank you for tuning in. Again, subscribe. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple TV. Who you shouting out, Al?
First, I want to shout out God, and I just want to say this: a man is what they think. So we have to start thinking. This is for the young generation. We have to start inspiring. We have to want more out of life. What are we looking at? We're seeing what's in front of us. If we don't create it to be more, it can't be more. And it starts with the way we think. I want to leave everybody with that one, man. You know, I want to say this too, E, and you close us out after this. I had a conversation with a kid, and it disturbed me because he was saying, yo, L, you said we don't got no leaders. Nobody can ever lead. You know, I said, well, what I do like is what my son is doing, because he's taking an initiative to be a leader, which means he's leading. Now, because you have ignorant people are looking at it, he's an artist, and whatever their perception of it is, regardless, if he wants to put himself on the front line, we got to support people like that. That's like you, E, getting on the front line. We got to support. So I want to just give a kudos to him, man.
My son will get a cash out from me today. That's a fact. Because he's doing the work, and I see him, and I know, you know, at the end of the day, between him and Tamika Mallory and all of the other people who are doing the work for our people, that stuff don't come for free, man. And how do you show support when you don't know any other way? If you can't get to the march, you know, help make it a little easier, man, because he got kids and they got families and they're doing the work for us. So when you do that, you got to support. Cash out for my son and Tamika Mallory today. That's a fact. Yo, we out, man. Bottom to the top hoops. Big shout out D Jones, Jerry Ice, and the fam. Who you shouting out, L?
Shout out to God.
We out.
Yeah.